And it's being live streamed. Okay, that's good. Welcome. Welcome to Discoveries in Health. And we're just getting started. Please stay with us. After the opening prayer, we're going to invite you to ask questions and tell us what you want to learn today. It's being live streamed. Okay, that's good. Oh, okay. Welcome. Welcome to Discoveries in Health. And we're just getting started. Please stay with us. After the opening prayer, we're going to there we go. All right. Hopefully, I haven't muted it for everyone. To switch the voice. Stay with us while we get started here. Thank you for joining us here on Discoveries in Health. And I'm closing any microphones that are open. We will open them and I'll ask you to open your microphone if you have any questions, topics, or suggestions. And I'm continuing to mute microphones so we have no echoes. And all right, let's make sure that we have audio over here. Do we have audio or not? I don't. I want to make sure. Audio. And we've got an open mic again. There we go. We're closing that mic. Thank you for joining us. We're just getting started and on. Okay. Everything is on. Okay. Well, we're going to just go with that. That's fine. And it looks like we don't have any open microphones going here. That's a good sign that we're okay. Hopefully I haven't muted the mic on YouTube. And welcome to Discoveries in Health. Bishop Dr. Truman Burst here again, talking about natural remedies, not prescribing, not diagnosing, not selling products, just answering your questions and teaching a class all about how to stay healthy with natural remedies, how they work, which ones that may be useful to you. Again, we're not prescribing or diagnosing. We leave that to the medical doctors. I'm an herbalist, and I have been an herbalist for over 60 years, helping people with natural remedies. And that being said, let's get over here and let's get that, let's get our intro going. Where is the intro? I'm looking for the intro. Here we go. We can find it. Here it is. Oh, going to here. No, that's not it. Okay, so I'm going to go back, put that back, and I'm going to go here. And is that it? That's what I'm looking for. Okay, here we go. So Bishop Dr. Truman Burst. Street. And welcome to Discoveries in Health as we now enter with YouTube and say hello to the folks on YouTube and on Zoom. Thank you for joining us. This is Bishop Dr. Truman Burst. Burst, coming to you from Good Shepherd Ministries. And thank you. Thank you for joining us here for another edition of Discoveries in Health. Bishop Dr. Truman Burst, Master Herbalist for 62 years, helping people with natural remedies. And let's get over to the let's get over to dial pad. If there's anyone there who has a question, a topic, a suggestion, something you want to learn or talk about today, we don't prescribe, we don't diagnose, we don't talk about your health problems. We talk about health problems, any health problem, but we don't talk about your health problems because that's against the law or against the rules. I don't know if it's a law, but you know, the people in high places, they think rules are laws, and they do what they want. So, and what they want to do is make sure that everybody knows that you cannot prescribe or diagnose any kind of a natural remedy for anyone, because the medical monopoly has monopolized the laws as well as the medical. They got the legal monopoly as well. But anyway, that's why we're so careful here not to offend the powers in high places, evil powers in high places. And talking about that, the best place to start this broadcast is with an opening prayer. And that being said, let's get over here to put on the whole body armor of God. We've got our Bible, online Bible open here, and we're looking at Ephesians 6:10 to 18, King James King, and I'll see Virtue here. I think he's coming in. Hi, Virtue. Thank you for joining us over there on YouTube. And we're coming in here on, and we're talking, and we're talking about it's time to have an opening prayer. And Ephesians 6:10, 18, King James Version, it starts with 10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against the principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day. And having done all to stand, stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace, and above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. In Jesus Christ's name, we pray. We come praising, worshiping, and thanking the Most High God in Jesus Christ's name, and receiving his complete, continuous, endless, and limitless blessing for the glory and for the victory of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In Jesus Christ's name, we receive, receive, receive. We receive, receive, receive. So be it. Amen. Oh, okay. And I'm looking over here and I see a microphone open over on a dial pad meetings, area code 330. Do you have a question, a topic, or a suggestion? Maybe your microphone is just open. Okay. Go ahead.
No, I said you can close it.
Okay.
I mute on my end, but it's still open on your end for some reason.
Okay. Well, I will mute your microphone. And if you do have a question, topic, or suggestion along the way, please open your microphone and let me know. This is a discussion. It's not a lecture. Yep, that's what we do here. We make sure and help people. And that being said, because it looks like we've got people who want to listen to what we're going to teach today, and what we've been teaching is all about the herbs on the website herbalhealthreview.com. And so now I'm over on the website on my main computer. And we're making a video of this. So later, if you want to go over to YouTube or Zoom, you'll be able to see a video of this. But I'm on the website herbalhealthreview.com, and I'm clicking on my book, Herbal Descriptions. Okay, and there's a digital download of my book on this website, and it's still $15.95. And the price is going to change to $19.95 soon. So if anybody wanted a copy of my book at the old price, you're probably going to need to do that soon, because the price is going to change to $19.95 because I haven't changed the price of the book in 10 years. So there we are. We're here. We're into the book, and this book is on this website. And you can go on this website and you can look at excerpts from this book on the website. For instance, we've been looking at herbal tincture formulations. So I clicked on herbal descriptions, and now I'm going down to tincture formulations, and I'm clicking on tincture formulations. Now, in previous broadcasts on YouTube, and you can go back in the previous weeks and you can look at these, we talked about acne and skin disorders, and we detailed the information, and it's a free video, and it's on YouTube. And then we talked about ADD and ADHD, that herbal formula, because what we did is we took the herbal formulations for skin disorders. Then we took all the formulations for ADD and ADHD and brain disorders, and we looked at those formulations. So we have described how the formulations and all the herbs in acne and skin formula, ADD, HD formula, the adrenals and hypoglycemia formula. I think that's where we need to now go, is the allergies formula. So let's click on the allergies formula, a formula for allergies. And there are people that have allergies all year long. There's not just an allergy season. I mean, this season is all year long. So now I've clicked on the formulation that I created many decades ago for allergies. And let's take a look at why these herbs are helpful for allergies. Well, first of all, what's in an allergy herbal formula? So we're on the website, herbalhealthreview.com. We've clicked on herbal descriptions. We've clicked on the tincture formulations, and now we're clicked on the allergy formula. and we're in the allergy formula and we're clicking on the ingredients. The ingredients of herbs that help with allergies, the main ones are bayberry, that's bayberry bark. Let's go take a look at bayberry bark and describe why it's in an allergy formula. Okay, this is something that people don't generally do, is describe exactly what's in their formula and why it's in there. So that's why I'm doing this. So now we're going back into the and we're going to look at the single herbs, and we're going to look at bayberry bark. Okay, so now we're back at herbal descriptions, and we're looking at single herbs, and we're going to look at bayberry bark. Okay, and I'm looking here. Okay, bayberry. I'm going down A, B, C, D. Here we go. A, B. I'm on my way, and here is bayberry root bark. Why would bayberry root bark be in an allergy formula? And the reason why is because it is an incredible herb that it's an evergreen shrub, and is found in various habitats ranging from New England to Delaware and Maryland and in the United States. However, the plant can be successfully cultivated as far north as southern Connecticut and Long Island on the US East Coast. It also grows bayberry bark, bayberry root bark. It also grows in Bermuda. I went to Bermuda once, and the Caribbean, and I've been to the Caribbean. And it's waxy. It's a waxy fruits are a source of food for many birds, including wild turkey and quail and wren and tree sparrow, whose digestive systems remove that waxy coating and prepare the seeds for successful germination. Bayberry fruits are also a traditional source of the Christmas decorations. And they're called bayberry candles. The wax was extracted by boiling the berries and skimming off the floating hydrocarbons. The fats were then boiled again and then strained. The leaves are glandular and produce aromatic essential oils. Another very interesting botanical note is that the bayberry root bark, that this plant's roots possess nodules, which are home to a symbiotic species of fungus, which fixes nitrogen at a faster rate than legumes. This makes it possible for poor soil to become hospitable for other plant species requiring more nitrogen to thrive. Okay. The botanical name of bayberry root bark is Myrica cerifera, and it has it has other names, quite a few: Arboldi cera, Ombre cera, Candleberry. It has lots of different names: wax myrtle, waxberry, southern bayberry. So it has lots of different names, but the nutrients that are in this bayberry root bark is calcium, iron, magnesium, manganese, phosphorus, potassium, selenium, silicon, zinc, vitamins A, B1, B2, B3, and vitamin C. And the therapeutic actions, well, the therapeutic actions of this root bark, according to the scientific evidence behind it, it's an abortifacient. So you're going to be very careful about taking that if you're pregnant, because it's an abortifacient. It is an antiseptic. It's an alterative, an appetizer, antibacterial, aromatic, astringent. It has shown some anti-cancer properties. It's a carminative, cholagogue, diaphoretic, discutiant, digestive, deobstruent, diuretic, emetic, irrine. It's a minagogue, febrifuge, narcotic, insecticide, parasiticide. It's a stimulant, siligogue. It's a styptic, a sternatory. It's a stomachic, and a tonic vulnerary. What it's used for, and historically and traditionally, the books tell us it's a cleansing tonic for the liver and for the alimentary tract. It tones and promotes glandular activity. It's a uterine tonic. It has been used for increasing circulation and toning of the arterial and capillary tissues. It has also helped to stop hemorrhage of the bowels, lungs, and uterus. It decreases profuse menstrual flow. You want to use with cayenne for the female organs. What the cayenne is doing is the cayenne is warming the tissue, opening up, letting toxins out and letting nutrients in. And that's why you're going to see cayenne in many of the formulations that I use. It's not very much, just enough to warm up the tissues and open them up, dilate them, and let the nutrients in and let the toxins out. So the other uses of bayberry root bark, the bayberry root bark it's used for adrenal weakness. When there's colds, cholera, congestion, diarrhea, dysentery, endometriosis, fevers, female problems, flu, glands, goiter, hemorrhage, hepatitis, indigestion, miscarriage, scrofula, and sinusitis. This is when this herb is used to support the body. I didn't say cure anything or heal anything because that offends the establishment, and we don't want to offend them. But that's when it's used. It's historically and traditionally, that's what's reported, the times that it's used. Now, that's the internal uses. The external uses, the bayberry root bark, it's been used as a wash for gangrenous sores, carbuncles, canker sores, sore gums, and infected areas. You would use it as a wash. It can be used as a gargle for sore throats. It has been used with cayenne as a germicide in wounds. And other uses? Well, there's not any other uses. And is there any drug interactions? No known drug interactions with this herb. The suggested dosage, about 30 drops, 3 times a day if you're using it all by itself. But we're using it in a formulation. And now you see what it's doing in that formula. That's its job in that formula, is that with those actions. And there's a warning here. The warning that goes along with this herb is do not use while pregnant, because it is an abortifacient. So we might lose the baby. So do not use the allergy drops or any formulation with bayberry root bark if there's pregnancy. Okay, so now we looked at that herb. Now let's go back and go back, we looked at the bayberry root bark. Let's get back to the single herbs. Let's get back up to the top here. I'm on herbalhealthreview.com website, Herbal Health Review, and I'm looking at the herbal descriptions book information, and it's describing and we're describing herbal tincture formulations. So this herbal tincture formulation that we described is the first herb we described in it with bayberry root bark, and that's an herbal formula that's for allergies. But we want to be very cautious with that formulation if there's pregnancy. Okay, so now we're going to look at this allergy formula again, and we look at the next herb in this, and the next herb in there is echinacea. Now, echinacea is one of the most widely known herbs in the world. It's an immune stimulant. Let's go take a look at the herb and visit with the herb echinacea. It's one that you really want to get to know about because it is a wonderful supportive herb. Okay, let's go over here. We're going to go to single herbs, A, B, C, D. There we are. We're now on the herbalhealthreview.com. We're in the herbal descriptions tab, and we're clicking on single herbs. And we're going down alphabetically, A, B, C, D, E, till we get to echinacea. And we're going to learn how wonderful this herb is and why most of the world already knows about echinacea and how wonderful it is. And they're using it all over the place. And wow, I'm trying to get there. Here it is, echinacea. And the one we're going to talk about is echinacea angustifolia. There's two species that are popular. The other one is purpurea, but the angustifolia is the most popular. And so we're going to go with angustifolia, and it's one of the most popular herbs in America today and around the world. Echinacea is a Native American medicinal plant named for the prickly scales in its large conical seed head, which resembles the spines of an angry hedgehog, which is in Greek, that's echinos, which is Greek for hedgehog. Echinos is the Greek word for hedgehog. Okay, now Echinacea angustifolia, it's got, it's going to have some other names. I mean, like 20 or 30 of them. So American coneflower, black Samson, black Susans, Barneria angustifolia, Barneria pallida. It's got bunches of names. But let's get to the nutrients. The nutrients in echinacea, how it's boosting the immune system, is because it's loaded with calcium, iron, magnesium, manganese, niacin, phosphorus, potassium, selenium, silicon, zinc, vitamins A, B1, B2, B3, vitamin C, and vitamin E. I mean, it's loaded with nutrients. What's the therapeutic actions? Well, it's now if you don't understand these terms, there's a glossary of terms on this website. So if it says it's adaptogen and you want to know what an adaptogen is, go look on that herbal descriptions, look down there in the glossary of terms, and it'll tell you what an adaptogen is. It'll tell you what an antibiotic is, an antiviral, alterative, antiseptic, antibacterial, antifungal, anti-inflammatory, astringent, anti-allergenic, carminative, depurative, diaphoretic, digestive, immune stimulant, siligagu. It works on stings, and it's a stimulant, and it's a tonic, and a vulnerary. So those are all the therapeutic actions. And again, if you're not familiar with those terms, be sure and go up to the website where and look here where it says glossary of terms right there, and that will give you all these terms, because we're not going to go into that because it would take too much time. Now, the internal uses, well, it's been used, well, echinacea, once again, it has been deemed the king of all blood purifiers. Okay, it's a blood, historically and traditionally, that's what's being said about it. It is the king of all blood purifiers.
Hey, Grandpa, can I ask you something?
Go ahead.
So there's, how would you compare echinacea with graviola as far as cleansing the blood?
Different actions. We'd have to look at the actions of graviola, which is going to be, it's different. This one's going to where the graviola is really it's showing some promise scientifically in the fact that it can fight cancers,
Okay.
and so which is a hot topic. You can barely talk about an herb like that, but graviola also, is an herb that has strong historical and traditional suggestions that it may be very valuable when it comes to cancer. And
But like,
so that's,
sorry. In particular, though, I'm curious. Like, does graviola cleanse the blood as well, or does it fight free radicals differently?
Graviola, it does cleanse the blood. Let's take a look at graviola for just a moment, and let's get that comparison. Okay, here we go. Graviola, leaf. Okay. Okay, let's go for benefits. Okay, benefits. Well, what it's doing, it's working on infections, it's working with viruses, it's working with parasites. So that's its actions. Its actions are in that direction. It's been utilized in rheumatism, arthritis. It's even been used for depression and various sicknesses. And that's cancer research coming from the UK. Okay, so what are the benefits of the graviola leaves? Some studies have shown that the plant's active ingredients possess antioxidant, anti-cancer, anti-convulsant, anti-arthritic, anti-parasitic, anti-malarial, and liver protective and anti-diabetic effects. So it's targeting its actions more in those directions, whereas when we're talking about the echinacea, it is working more directly in purifying the blood, and so it's more of a blood purifier, where the graviola has some chemical constituents, natural chemical constituents that are attacking cancers, that are attacking the arthritic inflammation, that are attacking parasites. You see, echinacea isn't quite doing all of that.
So echinacea, so ultimately echinacea is cleansing the blood, helping to strengthen the immune system, where graviola is going directly at the free radicals.
That's correct, and targeting the liver.
Got it.
So and where you're also getting anti-diabetic effects and so forth. And soursop is one of the greatest herbs that you can find as well. I'm glad you brought that up. Did you have any other question?
No, thanks for that. I appreciate it. We can get back to echinacea.
Okay, all right, back to echinacea. So so yeah, which is really just purifying that blood. It's a blood cleanser, and it's used for skin disorders such as boils and abscess. Echinacea is used for boils and abscesses, and it's famous for its use with treating snake bites. It also has been used for cleansing the lymphatic system, and it's used in where there are and fevers and blood poisoning and carbuncles and peritonitis, syphilic conditions, syphilis, and with bites and stings, and gangrenous conditions, and diphtheria, tonsillitis, and pus formations. So that's why it's so valuable, and it and would be working the two of those herbs would be working very well and complementing one another if they were in the same formula. So the external uses for echinacea, well, we don't usually use echinacea so much externally, but other uses for echinacea, it can be used when it can be supported when there are contagious diseases, ear infections, eczema, emphysema, sore gums, immune deficiency, prostate gland issues, bronchitis, canker sores, cold sores, gingivitis, HIV support, vaginitis, and yeast infections. These are times you're going to find the echinacea very, very supportive. Drug interactions. Now, you want to know that echinacea supports interaction if on econazole, econazole, econazole. So if you're on you want to check if you're on any chemotherapy drugs, and further, you want to make sure that you're working with your healthcare practitioner and they know what you're doing, so that you're because and the suggested dosage of echinacea, about 300 milligrams every 2 hours for the first day of illness, then 3 times daily for 7 to 10 days. That's it. 7 to 10 days. Don't go further than that. Go to a different herb after 7 to 10 days if you still need more help. Don't use the same one. And that's very important. There's a lot of times when you start on something, if you have a cold, a flu, or some illness, you want to hit it hard every 2 hours for the first day or two of the illness, to make sure that you're every 2 hours you're dosing yourself until you get relief, and then you can go to the 3 times daily. But a lot of times we need to load up in the very beginning, and we're very careful about doing that, and we're watching the person to make sure that that everything's working just fine when we're doing that. So that's it. So here we go. The stock number for echinacea angustifolia is 3341. And okay, and that's it. That's all you need to know about echinacea. Let's go look and find out what other herbs are in an allergy formula, because that's what we're looking at. We are dissecting the allergy formula that I created many decades ago. So back to tincture formulations, back to the allergies formulation. We're looking at it again, back to it, and there it is. We're looking at it again and looking at the ingredients. And the first ingredient was bayberry bark. And the thing about it is, I didn't give you the stock number on the bayberry bark, and I should do that because. So let me go to my book here and do that quickly. So you have the stock number of the bayberry bark because I didn't give it to you. I gave you the echinacea and ABC. I'm almost there. I can do this. I want to make sure that you can find these when you're looking for them. Oh, wow. A lot of herbs in my herb book. This is my book. Okay. Up over here. Up. Where are you, bayberry? Wow. Wow. Okay. A lot of herbs in this book. Closing in on it. Bayberry, it's number 3063. The bayberry is number 3063. So now you got both stock numbers of both herbs. Let's go to the yarrow is the third herb in an allergy formula. So why would we put yarrow in an allergy formula? Let's go find out. But now I'm going down here to let's go look at yarrow. Okay. Yarrow. Why did we put yarrow? Whoops, that's not yarrow. Why? Yarrow. Okay, yarrow benefits. Reason we would use yarrow. Well, yarrow is popular in Europe in the folk medicine, and it contains flavonoids, which are plant-based chemicals that increase saliva and stomach acid to help improve digestion. Yarrow may also relax smooth muscles in the intestine and uterus, which can relieve stomach and menstrual cramps. So that's why we're using yarrow. And how do you use yarrow in healing? Well, according to the latest scientific information, they're saying that yarrow is best known for its ability to stop bleeding and to heal skin wounds. Historically, yarrow leaves are chewed up and then used as a poultice to stop on top of wounds to help stop bleeding. It slows down the bleeding, yarrow. And is yarrow a natural antibiotic? Yarrow is strongly antibacterial, but it's better not to introduce additional bacteria into a wound. The antibacterial properties plus the powerful astringency promote rapid healing. That's why it's used for wounds. Roman soldiers used yarrow for healing their wounds. So what are the side effects of yarrow? Yarrow is generally considered safe to use medicinally, but possible side effects may include skin irritation when used topically, sequesterpenes, a type of metabolite in yarrow, may cause contact dermatitis or skin rash in some people. It may cause increased urination. Yarrow has a diuretic effect when tested on rats. And what does yarrow do to the blood medicinally? The medicinal value of yarrow is considered a medicinal wonder. It has been used to stop bleedings of wounds and cuts. It's been used as a poultice for burns and open sores and used to cure fevers and colds and alleviates toothaches. Yarrow, the leaves were mashed with water and put on the wounds. And what did Native Americans use yarrow for? Well, numerous tribes in North America used yarrow for a variety of ailments. The crushed plant was applied to wounds and burns, and the dried leaves were used as a tea to soothe colds, fever, and headache. Yarrow beer has been brewed in Europe since the Middle Ages. And the 10 most prominent benefits of yarrow. Applied to the skin, yarrow may soothe eczema, reduce inflammation, fight bacteria, and heal wounds. The plant is rich in antioxidants and may help with diabetes, heart disease, anxiety, irritable bowel syndrome, and cramps. More research on it is on its potential and health benefits is, however, required. So we need more research, folks. And who should drink yarrow tea? Well, yarrow is safe for most individuals. However, you should avoid it if you have a bleeding disorder or are pregnant, or if there's breastfeeding, or you're undergoing surgery, or if you're allergic to ragweed. Don't use yarrow. Okay. So what are the cons of yarrow? Yarrow generally has few disease and pest problems, but can be prone to a powdery mildew and stem rot if planted in a shady or wet area. So you have to be careful when you're planting it. Does yarrow reduce inflammation? Yarrow is an anti-inflammatory herb, and that's why it's helping with allergies. It's reducing the inflammation. And yarrow has historically been recommended by doctors for people with Crohn's disease. A variety of anti-inflammatory herbs historically have been recommended for doctors for people with Crohn's disease. These include chamomile, licorice, and aloe vera juice. Okay. Let's go for a couple more here, and then we're gonna. Is yarrow good for hair growth? Yarrow is a botanical ingredient for all hair types, and regular use of yarrow in hair care has been shown to promote healthy hair growth, soothe scalp inflammation, remove buildup, and reduce hair loss, according to a study June 8, 2020. So it's good for your hair, and it's good for hair growth. That's the thing about these herbs. What about kidneys? There's some indication there. Yarrow has potential to protect your kidneys and livers against infections and inflammation, which is one of the reasons why it would be very good against allergies. And one study found that supplementing yarrow reduced the markers of kidney disease in patients with chronic kidney disease. And yarrow may also be used to treat kidney stones. Go ahead. Okay, I've got an open mic here. I'm going to close. Tony, your mic is open. Did you have a question, a topic, or a suggestion? Nope. Okay. All right. You open your mic if you do. But yes, so we're finding out that how these things are working, because when you put in one herb with another herb, it's making all the herbs work better. It's kind of like bringing in your team. Then it's easier to pick up a log if you have a team people that try to pick up a log all by yourself. So that's kind of what it amounts to. Anyway, there's lots of things that yarrow can do. Let's get back to that allergy formula and look at some other herbs. The other herb in there besides the bayberry. Oh, by the way, yarrow. What is the stock number for yarrow? Somebody says, I want some yarrow. Oh my goodness, I can do this. John Ward. There's a lot of herbs in this book. I'm almost there. Takes just a minute. Yarrow. Oh. Oh, one more page. Here we go. Yarrow flowers. The yarrow flowers, number 3969. A Chilean millefolium. It's an absolutely fantastic herb. There are no known drug interactions with yarrow. Wow. Okay. So, okay, we did that. Now, wild cherry bark. Let's take a look at wild cherry bark. Okay, wild cherry bark. We'll just go right to the book. Instead of looking at it up there, you can look at it right here. Wild UVW. Oops. Come on, wild cherry bark. Wild cherry bark. So wild cherry bark in an allergy formula, it's in there because the wild cherry bark, fructus serotina. I can say this. Serotina, yeah. The therapeutic actions of wild cherry bark are the fact that it's been found to be antitussive, anti-astringent, pectoral, sedative, stomachic, tonic, nutritive. There's lots of calcium, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, and zinc in wild cherry bark. And its main use is for, it has a sedative action on the respiratory nerves. The other the other system this herb works with is the digestive system. So it's working with the respiratory, it's working with the digestive, and its internal uses of wild cherry bark has been used for coughs, asthma, and other chest diseases. It has been, it has helped to aid digestive and is useful in the treatment of digestive weakness, including ulcers, gastritis, colitis, diarrhea, dysentery, and dyspepsia. The American Indians used wild cherry bark to ease the pain of labor. They used it when there was diarrhea. They used wild cherry bark when there were lung problems, or if there was, if they used it as an enema for hemorrhoids and for dysentery. And wild cherry bark has been used to treat chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD. That's when it's been used for that as a supportive herb when there is COPD. And wild cherry bark is number 3938. Finally, an herb that we talked about earlier, cayenne, that we use a teeny tiny amount to warm things up, to open up and dilate the tissues and let the toxins out and let the nutrients in. So that's why you'll see a little tiny bit of cayenne in most herbal formulas. But let's go take a look at cayenne. Why is cayenne, why is it used? Well, the reason that cayenne is used in that formula is for the reasons that I mentioned, and probably a few others besides, because Cayenne, number 3203 or 3206, is the therapeutic actions. It's an anesthetic, anti-hemorrhoidal, antibacterial, alterative, astringent, antispasmodic, anti-rheumatic, antiseptic, carminative, diaphoretic, digestive, a digestive herb. It's an emetic. It's an irritant. It's pungent. It's rubefacient. It's a silicogue stimulant, stomach. It's sudorific. It's a tonic. Cayenne is loaded with amino acids, calcium, essential fatty acids, folate, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, selenium, zinc, vitamin A, B1, B2, B3, B5, B6, C, E, and G. And the drug interactions, it supports interaction with aspirin. So aspirin and cayenne are supporting one another. A description of cayenne: it's considered by many to be the strongest stimulant known. Now, the difference between it and coffee is coffee will give you the jitters because it's a stimulant that will give you the jitters, where cayenne is a pure stimulant which just stimulates you and gives you energy, but does not give you the jitters. So it's not attacking the nervous system, it's stimulating it, where coffee is attacking the nervous system. But it's considered to be one of the strongest stimulants known. And cayenne, the internal uses as a relaxant to the stomach and colon, and as a healer for ulcers. It has been able to stimulate the stomach and is not irritating when small doses are used. You can't use large doses of cayenne, it's going to upset your stomach. But small doses work very well with the stomach. Cayenne stimulates the blood and the heart, increasing and strengthening the pulse. It does well in dilating blood vessels, thus relieving chronic congestion of people addicted to drink. It has been used as a tonic and is said to be unequaled in warding off disease because of the high vitamin C content. It has been used for colds, sinus, respiratory ailments, indigestion, hangover, diabetes, cramps, circulation problems, asthma, rheumatism, kidneys, and high blood pressure. It has been used, we're talking about supportive use here. It has been used supportively, used with ginger to clean out the bronchial tubes and sinus cavities. And it's been used as a gargle for sore throats, as an emergency treatment for shock, for hemorrhage and bleeding, bleeding wounds. It's been used internally and externally. Also good for headaches, cluster, and migraine. And it's been used when there's obesity, and when there's digestive or indigestion problems, when there's heartburn and osteoarthritis, pain, shingles, rheumatoid arthritis, bursitis, and low back pain, and neuropathy. External uses: it's used with golden seal and myrrh as a liniment for bruises and scalds and burns and psoriasis and sunburns. The dosage, about 833 milligrams daily, or about 0.3 to 1 mil, 1 to 3 times daily. So about 3 times daily is good. and it should not be used in large doses because it can irritate the gastrointestinal tract. And that's a little bit about cayenne pepper. It's just an extraordinary herb. Finally, the last herb in this allergy formula is one of the greatest, another just absolutely sensational herb. It's called golden seal root. And the reason golden seal root is in there, let's go see if that's on our list here. Just to make sure. Natural golden seal. Okay, golden seal. I have to go here.
Hey, Grandpa.
Yes, go ahead.
And so I'm curious, why is nettle not in the allergy formula?
It would be a good addition to it, but yeah, it would be a good addition to it. It just isn't in there. It works the way that it is. It's balanced and all the constituents create an anti-allergenic effect on the body, supporting all these different allergies because the golden seal, the echinacea, the bayberry bark, the wild cherry bark, the yarrow, all of these are all balancing and helping each other. And when you put them all together, it's an interesting team that is able to do the job against allergies. But you're right, another herb that would be good for it would be nettles. Yes.
So say if you have the allergy formula, like getting a single extract of the nettle and then maybe even a vitamin supplement of the quercetin would be a really super powerful force.
Yeah, so if you had that formulation and then you just added some nettles or took an extra dose of nettles, that would be complementary because nettles is also anti-inflammatory. Yes.
So where would something like quercetin help the herbs? Because quercetin is more of a supplement.
And because it is also anti-inflammatory. So that's where it's going to come in. So you got all these anti-inflammatories and you start loading one after another. That's when the allergies and the things start disappearing. When you start taking extra vitamin C and other anti-inflammatories like the nettles, etc. Yeah, you start adding a few other herbs to it. It complements them. That's why I get into long chain formulations sometimes because I see a problem and I keep adding one more until I'm just sure that I've covered all the exits for the problem or all the ways for the problem to exist. I've closed all the exits off with certain herbs until I got the results I'm looking for.
It sounds like the gland rejuvenator.
Yeah, like the gland rejuvenator.
It's got like 45 different herbs in it.
Yeah. It really gets to be incredible. And because when I'm making these formulations, I'm praying, and I'm receiving the information. So I'm spirit filled and spirit led, and I just keep right on going until the spirit says, "Okay, that's it. It works. It'll work." Then I use it, and people tell me, "Wow, that I did a great job." Hey, it wasn't me, buddy. It was the spirit. But yeah, okay. We're talking about golden seal. Let's see if we got golden seal listed over here. Golden seal, the single herb. I may not be on our list. I don't know if we got as far as G. Single herbs. Okay. Well, that's a formula. I want the single herb here. Single herbs. There it is. All right. Okay. Wow. Okay. All right. Golden seal. We're looking for the herb golden seal. Is it in this list? I hope it is. Going on, that's pretty far down the list. A, B, C, D, E, F. There's gravel root, but no. And golden seal did not make this list. So we're going to go over here and we're going to look it up in the book because it made it in the book. All right, golden seal. Let's find out why we've got golden seal. Golden seal is one of my favorite herbs. It's a fantastic natural antibiotic, which would be one of the first reasons why golden seal root number 3424 would be in a formulation for allergies, because hydrastis, canadensis, golden seal root, and you don't want to buy golden seal leaf. You want the root. The root. So the therapeutic actions of golden seal root are the fact that it is antibacterial, antiperiodic, antiseptic, antispasmodic, astringent, alterative, cholagogue, a diuretic, a detergent, ophthalmic, aperient, deobstruent, antiemetic, nervine, homeostatic, a laxative, a sedative, a stomachic, and a tonic. So all of those are really good reasons. And then the nutrients, the reason, good reasons to be in an allergy formula. And the nutrients that are in there are calcium, iron, magnesium, manganese, phosphorus, potassium, selenium, silicon, zinc, vitamins A, B1, B2, B3, and C. Drug interactions, golden seal root interacts with tetracycline. You want to check with your physician if you're on doxycycline. A description of golden seal root, well, the golden yellow root of this plant gives it its name. It has antibiotic properties, stronger than many prescription medications, and is able to target unwanted bacteria as well as protozoa and yeasts. It's unique in that it does not harm the beneficial bacteria that are necessary in the digestive tract. Now that is extraordinary, because all these other bacteria are killing everything off. But the bacteria, it's not harming the good bacteria in your digestive tract. Anyway, by many herbalists, golden seal root is considered one of the most powerful herbs. This has been substituted for quinine, and the internal use of golden seal root is one of the most effective remedies for inflamed and catarrhal conditions of the mucous membranes. And that's a real good reason why that it is going to be helpful when there is an allergy, because those mucous membranes are under attack when you and there's inflammation and there's a lot of catarrh. So the golden seal is working against those, and the golden seal has the ability to heal the mucous membranes anywhere in the body, bronchial tubes, throat, intestines, or stomach. It's very healing to the bronchial tubes. And the other uses of golden seal root, it's used for open sores, eczema, ringworm, skin disease, diphtheria, tonsillitis, severe throat problems. It's sluggish digestion, spinal meningitis, pyorrhea, sore gums, sinus difficulties, bladder disorders, and lower bowel problems. You can use it as an enema even. And you can use it, it's used against infections, flu, diabetes, constipation, colds, canker sores, psoriasis, heart disorders, gallbladder, spleen, and pancreas. When used with skullcap and hops, it's good for the spinal nerves, and also good for yeast infection, candida, parasites, urinary tract infection, and gastritis. The external uses of golden seal root has been used to heal newborn's umbilical cord. as a gargle for sore throat, mouthwash for pyorrhea, mouth sores, and snuffed up the nose for nasal catarrh. There's other uses. Was used for ringworm, bruises, wounds, and to help stop bleeding. What the amount of the dosages? Well, 4 to 6 grams daily. In the tinctures, 2 to 4 milliliters 3 times a day. And here's a caution: you don't want to use long term. You don't want to use golden seal long term. The berberine stimulates the uterus. So the chemical constituent berberine that stimulates the uterus, you want to be very cautious of this. If there's pregnancy, this could stimulate the uterus. So it's loaded with berberine. Now, if a person has high blood pressure, you want to watch for the highs and the lows, and if they occur, then you want to substitute golden seal golden seal root with myrrh. And we do that. We make an herbal antibiotic formulation, number 1018, and we make one with golden seal for people who can tolerate the golden seal, and we make one with myrrh for people who cannot tolerate the golden seal. And you do not use the golden seal root because of the berberine when there's pregnancy. And it was recently put on the FDA's list as an herb that should not be ingested internally. But that just shows you what they know. There you go. That's it. That is the formulation for allergies. And I'm going to decline the call. We're going to decline that call. So that is an allergy formulation. And those herbs, when they're put together like that, in a tincture extra, there's like 30 drops or a half a dropper full 3 times a day. First day, you might take every 2 hours. You might take a dose, or to get a hold of the problem. But that's how to use it. And let's go to the next one. So if we're looking at the allergy formula, what's the next formula on the list here? Let's see. We talked about allergies. What about anemia? If somebody, now we have a lot of ladies who have fibroid tumors, and they're bleeding, and they're fatigued, and they don't know why they feel horrible, or maybe they do know why, because they're losing too much blood and it's causing anemia. So there is an anemia herbal formulation to increase the iron safely in your blood. Let's take a look at what an anemia formula looks like and why it works. Okay. All right. And if anybody has a question, a topic, or a suggestion, please make your question or topic or suggestion now before we start on another formulation. No other questions. Okay. And that being said, we're on our way. We are looking at an anemia formula here on herbalhealthreview.com. We've clicked on the herbal descriptions. Okay. And so here we are. We're describing a formulation that helps and supports people who are going through an iron deficiency, anemia. So here's an anemia formula, and it's been used for anemia. It's also used for sore throats, and it helps to cleanse and build the blood. And what herbs do that? Dandelion root, which has also been historically and traditionally used to support people when there are tumors and cancers and blood problems. A dandelion root is a very supportive herb for the blood. And there's that barberry barberry bark root, and parsley leaf, and there's some yellow dock. And the yellow dock in this formula is 40% natural iron. And there's the myrrh, which is a safe natural antibiotic. There's also kelp in there for all the minerals from the sea, from the ocean, and there's alfalfa, which is one of the greatest nutritional herbs ever, which is the reason why they feed it to cattle, because it's loaded with nutrition. And alfalfa is one of the great super nutrition herbs. Let's take a look at the first herb, dandelion root. Why is dandelion root in that formula? Let's see if I can go right to this right quick. ABC in my book, dandelion root. Okay, herbalhealthreview.com. On there, dandelion. Well, here it is. There's dandelion leaf, number 3318, and there's dandelion root. Now the root, those roots go way down into the earth, and they are picking up all kinds of minerals and nutrients. The the botanical name for dandelion root is Texicum officinale. The origin of dandelion root is Hungary and China are two excellent sources for dandelion root. We have to be very careful of herbs from China because there's a lot of adulteration from herbs that always has been coming from China. So we have to be very careful of that. And that's why we must have, correct documents on the herbs when we receive them. Now, the therapeutic actions are the fact that dandelion root is antibacterial. It's a purient. It's a cholagogue. And again, if you don't know what these terms mean, then let's go down here to the glossary of terms. And when you click on the glossary of terms, and you want to say, because what does this mean? When it says, well, there we go. It's very slow to go, but it's going to go, is it? There it is. So, so if we're talking about something that is antibacterial, if it's antibacterial, then it's going to destroy bacteria. If it's an aperient, that means that it's very mild. If it's a cholagogue, let's go take a look and see what a cholagogue. It promotes the flow of bile. So if you don't know what these terms are, be sure to go over to the glossary of terms on the website. Let's get back to the single herbs. So we're looking at dandelion, which is absolutely an incredible, wonderful herb, dandelion root. And dandelion root it just does all kinds of things. It's one of the super herbs. And although dandelion is often dismissed as a little more than a stubborn lawn weed, dandelion has been used in many forms of traditional medicine for centuries. It is well known that while Texicum officinale is the most common type, there are many other dandelion species out there as well. Not only can the leaves, the roots, and the flower add a pop of color to your plate, but they're often found in herbal teas and supplements, where they're used as a natural remedy to support blood sugar management. and boost skin, liver, and heart health. They're there to support blood sugar, skin, liver, and heart. And it has a lots of names. Dandelion root has names like blowball, cankerwort, cochette, common dandelion, and a lot more. A lot of names. Okay. Nutrients. The nutrients in dandelion root leaf are calcium, iron, magnesium, manganese, phosphorus, potassium, selenium, zinc, vitamins B1, B2, B3, and vitamin C. Now, the therapeutic uses, well, dandelion has been used in the treatment of gallbladder. It's supportive when there is gallbladder problems, when there are urinary disorders. It is a valuable blood purifier. It's used when there's pregnancy and postpartum support. It's a blood purifier used for the liver and kidney disorders. It contains nutritive salts. These salts build up the blood. It has a mild laxative effect. It increases bile production and stimulates its flow to the gallbladder, where it also causes contractions and the release of bile. Dandelion root, it increases bile production, stimulates flow to the gallbladder, where it all causes contractions and releases bile, and has been used for gallstones, jaundice, cirrhosis of the liver, dyspepsia, and constipation, edema associated with high blood pressure, and heart weakness, chronic joint and skin complaints, gout, eczema, and acne. The plant, dandelion root, has an antibacterial action, inhibiting the growth of Staphylococcus aureus and pneumococcal and meningococcal and Bacillus dysenteriae and B. tephai and C. diphtheriae and Proteus, etc. Growths. Yes, so it's fighting all these. It's quite a blood a purifier in its own right. So the other uses besides is eczema. You want to combine it with chickweed, dandelion root with chickweed when there's eczema or skin diseases and other skin diseases, and it's used when it's scurvy, jaundice, gallbladder, mental fatigue, leg cramps, bowel disorders, bladder, diabetes, asthma, aging disorders, acne, spleen, low blood pressure, liver problems, psoriasis, low endurance, anemia, and high blood pressure, hypoglycemia, rheumatism, stomach, and it's even been supported when there are warts. Drug interactions with dandelion root. Dandelion root interacts with ciprofloxacin, loop diuretics, spironolactone, thiazide diuretics, trimterene. Those are drug interactions that you want to watch. If you're using any of those medications, be sure and check with your doctor. Suggested dosage, about 4 grams daily of dandelion root. And the tincture, 2 to 3 milliliters, three times daily. And the number for the dandelion root is 3312. And that's it for dandelion root. And the glossary of terms. And now we're back looking at that anemia formula and the ingredients. And we looked at dandelion root, barberry bark. So dandelion root for anemia. Barberry bark is the next herb. And the reason that we would use barberry bark when there's anemia is because we'll go up here to the single herbs. Single herbs. Here we go. And we're going for barberry. Barberry root bark. The reason that barberry root bark is so valuable in a formula for anemia is because Berberis vulgaris, commonly known as barberry, is a family of shrubs that grow around the world. They're popular with gardeners for their colorful leaves, but some varieties, especially the Japanese barberry, are considered invasive plants. Barberries have a long history in Eastern and Western traditional medicine for treating various health issues, according to WebMD. And the origin is USA, and India is where you're going to find Berberis vulgaris. Other known names, a lot of them. Alkaloid berberine, because it has it's loaded with berberine again. So it's got other names associated with berberine. The nutrients are calcium, iron, magnesium, manganese, phosphorus, potassium, selenium, silicon, zinc, vitamins B1, B2, B3, and vitamin C. The therapeutic actions are the fact that barberry root bark is antibacterial, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory. It's got all of these actions on the body, and it's used. It's what for the liver. It's one of the best liver herbs. It has been used for biliousness, liver trouble, and loss of appetite, and enlarged spleen. It's been used when there's constipation, jaundice, diarrhea, anemia, and blood building, when you want to build up the blood. It is especially powerful for correcting liver disorders by helping the bile to flow more freely. Barberry root bark. It's been for a mild dose. If you use just a little bit of it, it is a laxative, and in larger doses, it's a purgative, and will clean you out. A tonic. It's a tonic for debilitated conditions. It regulates the digestive system. It has also been used for high blood pressure, dysentery, fevers, sluggish gallbladder, indigestion, infections, pyorrhea, syphilis, and typhoid fever. It has also been good for infection, been used when there's parasites, psoriasis, and vaginitis. Those are the internal uses. The external uses, well, it's also offers potential as an eye tonic, and has been used as a gargle and as a mouthwash for sore throats. And that's about it. Drug interactions. Uh, Barberry root bark interacts with doxycycline. You want to check with your doctor before using tetracycline with barberry as well. And the suggested dose, 2 to 5 milliliters, about 30 drops, half a dropper full, 3 times a day. Do not use if pregnant because it's loaded with berberine. And you want it, and you don't want to use this also. Don't use long term, more than 2 weeks. Okay, this is an herb you use for no more than 2 weeks, and then you discontinue and give your body a rest for approximately a week, and then you can go back to it again. And in the meantime, you could use other herbs for the liver. So you kind of go back and forth. If you've got a liver problem, you use something for 7 to 10 days, then you use something else for 7 to 10 days. Then you can go back to the original one, or you can add a different one. But you just keep rotating different herbs that are good for a certain problem. And that's how you work with it until it clears up. Okay. That is the second herb in our formulation for anemia. Okay, so now we're going to go back here, find the herb, go back up here to the formulations again. I'm on my way, and there it is. Okay, tincture formulations. And I'm clicking on, I'm on the website herbalhealthreview.com, where I published all my work. And it's volumes and volumes of work, and pages, and it's all there for you. And you can thumb through this. Now, here we are again. We were looking at tincture formulations, and we were looking at anemia. And we were looking at the ingredients, and we looked at dandelion root and barberry bark and parsley. Now, parsley, there is an incredible herb. Parsley is an herb that is a diuretic and fantastic for the kidneys. Parsley, elemental P. I'm almost down. Stay with me here. We're going to describe parsley out of my book because it didn't make it to the website. It's in the book. And here we are. Parsley root number 3675. Parsley root number 3675. Parsley root and parsley leaf number 3674. Petrocillium crispum. The origin, USA or Egypt. And the therapeutic actions of parsley root and leaf. Well, the actions are, it's anti-dandruff. So it'll help to get rid of dandruff in your hair. It's anti-spasmodic if you've got spasms. It's an aperient, so it's very soothing and gentle. It's a birthing aid to help ladies to birth. It's supportive when there is cancer. It's a carminative. It's digestive. It's a diuretic, emmenagogue, expectorant, feverfuge, galactogue. It's a kidney herb. It's an ophthalmic. It's good for the eyes. It's a poultice. It's a poultice. Good for the skin. And it's good against stings and stomach problems. And it's a tonic and a vulnerary. The nutrients in parsley root and parsley leaf are calcium, folate, iron, magnesium, manganese, phosphorus, potassium, selenium, silicon, zinc, vitamins A, B1, B2, B3, B5, C, and E. A description, Well, parsley root, parsley leaf has been useful for and supportive when there's chronic liver problems and gallbladder diseases, and the roots act most readily on the kidneys in comparison to other parts of the plant. The roots are best used when there's a kidney. You use the roots when there's a kidney problem. Parsley leaves are the traditional antidote for garlic's pungent smell. You just chew on some parsley leaves, and it helps to take the garlic taste and smell out of your mouth. Go ahead.
And so I'm curious that as you're talking about parsley and being good for like breath and stuff like that, is that connected to why, like at restaurants, how there's a lot of garnishments that are parsley?
That's true. You'll see a little sprig of parsley on the plate there when they're serving your food, and that's supposed to refresh your mouth and give you a fresh taste and take the garlic taste away.
Okay, I was curious because when you think of parsley, like that's one of the oldest memories that I have of parsley is being on the table at a restaurant.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. A little sprig of parsley there for you to help to take the garlic taste out of your mouth, and so you don't smell like the garlic.
Nice.
And a description, it's been used for gallbladder diseases. The roots act most readily on kidneys. The parsley leaves are traditional antidotes for the garlic's pungent smell, and it's considered a strong diuretic, so it's going to help you to urinate. Internal use has been useful for fluid retention. So if you can't void your urine, eat more parsley, and it'll help you to void your urine for water retention. And it's going to be a part of a water retention formula. It's going to be used supportive when there are urinary and kidney stones, and for urinary infections, and other uses for the leaves, for parsley leaves: dropsy, jaundice, digestion, asthma, coughs, suppressed or difficult menstruation. External uses of parsley root and leaf: the juice of the leaves can be used externally for conjunctivitis, inflammation of the eyelids, and for contusions. You're going to find that that's very, very helpful as a poultice. So you can use it externally. Suggested use about 450 milligrams daily, and do not use if pregnant or with inflammatory kidney disease. If you have inflammatory kidney disease, we're not going to use it. We're going to use something else. Okay, that is it for parsley in our formulation there for anemia. Barberry, so dandelion root, barberry bark, parsley root, and then there's yellow dock, because yellow dock is 40% natural iron. Let's go take a look at. Did we talk about yellow dock already? No, it was yarrow. Okay, so yellow dock. Let's get over here to yellow. Whoop. Say oil. Amber oil. Yeah, well, that's not too far. There we go. UV, XYZ. I'm on my way. I'm real close. Here we go. So, yellow dock root, number 3972, Rumex crispus. The therapeutic actions of yellow dock root is that it's an alterative, anti-scorbutic, anti-scorbulous. It's astringent. It supports cancer victims. It's anti-syphilitic. It's a cathartic, cholagogue, depurative, detergent, laxative, and a nutritive tonic. The nutrients in yellow dock root are calcium, iron, manganese, magnesium, niacin, phosphorus, potassium, selenium, silicone, zinc, vitamins A, B1, B2, B3, and C. Drug interactions, no known drug interactions. Yellow Dock is an excellent blood purifier as its iron content is easily digestible and it contains up to 40% natural iron. Internal uses of Yellow Dock root, it has been useful for anemia and for iron deficiency symptoms as a blood cleaner. It has often been used for the treatment of skin diseases such as psoriasis, herpes, eruptions, eczema, and acne. Now, Yellow Dock has a stimulating effect on the liver and has been used for liver and gallbladder diseases. External uses, it may be used as a compress for itchy skin and as an ointment for sores, eruptions, and swellings. The Native Americans used the crushed leaves for boils and pulverized the root for cuts. The suggested dosage of Yellow Dock root tincture, 1 to 2 milliliters 3 times daily. Okay, now we get to in an anemia formula with dandelion root, barberry bark, parsley, Yellow Dock. The next herb is myrrh. And myrrh, that is an absolutely wonderful biblical herb. And myrrh, myrrh gum, LMN, I'm almost there. Myrrh, number 3630. The botanical name is Pomniphoria murria. The origin, Somalia and Africa. Myrrh gum. Therapeutic actions, it's an antiseptic, astringent, carminative. That's a cardiac for your heart. It's a disinfectant, emetic, expectorant, immunogogue, purgative, stimulant, tonic, and ebullitionary. The drug interactions, well, there's no known drug interactions with myrrh gum. Directions, myrrh has often been used as a main ingredient in mouthwashes and gargles to help with sore throats, infected gums, pyorrhea, and halitosis. Myrrh gum is also stimulates the flow of blood to the capillaries and gives a warm and pleasant sensation to the stomach. It increases the number of white blood corpuscles up to 4 times the original, thereby fighting infection and quickening the heart action. From time to time, people ask me, how can I increase the white blood cells, and myrrh gum is the answer to that, because it increases the corpuscles up to 4 times the original amount. So thereby it's fighting infection and quickening the heart action when it does that. And the internal uses of myrrh gum, it has been beneficial for Candida albicans, yeast infections, and thrush, overgrowth of, people are eating too much sugar and it's giving them Candida albicans and thrush, and athlete's foot and leg ulcers and other sores, and for bronchial and lung diseases, including laryngitis. It has also been used as a natural antiseptic to cleanse the stomach and colon. Also been used for parasites and canker sores in infection and ulcerative colitis. The external uses, it's been used as an antiseptic poultice for boils, sores, and other wounds. Also, myrrh gum has been used as a gargle, and the amount of the suggested use, tincture about 1 to 2 milliliters 3 times daily, or up to 2 grams daily. And caution, you don't use myrrh if you're pregnant. Okay. So that's it. It's too strong. That's it for myrrh. The next 2 herbs are highly nutritive. One is kelp, and kelp is a seaweed. Let's go take a look at this seaweed. Dandelions, go up here. Okay, let's go to kelp. And we're looking at kelp. Am I going to get A, B, C, D? Nope. Kelp isn't going to be there. So we're going to grab it over here out of the book. Kelp. Let's go to kelp. Kelp, A, B, C, D, F, G. Okay, we can do this. Let's take a look at the botanical description of kelp. Kelp seaweed, Atlantic or Norwegian. And it's number 3523 is kelp seaweed, Atlantic or Norwegian. The botanical name is Oscophyllum notusum. The origin is Canada. The therapeutic actions, nutritive. The nutrients in kelp, seaweed, Atlantic or Norwegian, it contains 30 trace and major minerals, including iodine, calcium, magnesium, potassium, iron, silicon, phosphorus, manganese, zinc, vitamins B1, B2, B3, A, C, E, G, S, and K, and drug interactions. There are no known drug interactions to seaweed. Description, beneficial for the thyroid and mineral deficiencies. The internal uses, it aids both the pituitary and the adrenal glands. It promotes glandular health and is rich in nutrients, regulates metabolism to help digest food. It's a sustainer to the nervous system and the brain, and it is very important for pregnant women to have seaweed, kelp. Suggested dosage, no dosage information. Just take it liberally. You know, it's seaweed, it's minerals, it's vitamins, it's food. I'd say, you know, a tablespoon or 2 daily would be fantastic. And if you're going to if you're taking the tincture, all you need is 30 drops 3 times a day for a healthy dose of seaweed if you're using the liquid. Let's look at the last herb here in an anemia formula. And that is the last herb that we were looking at is alfalfa, which I mentioned is a super nutrient. It's a super nutrient. So alfalfa. And we go to single herbs. And we go to the top. And there is on the top. I know you're there. I'm on my way. It's a long way to the top. Yeah, I guess so. There it is, alfalfa leaf. Alfalfa leaf. If I'm getting alfalfa every day because I get it into my super green foods. I use the liquid and I use the powder. Alfalfa. Alfalfa leaf is known for its nutritious qualities. It's a flowering perennial, a member of the pea family, and is cultivated worldwide. Medicago sativa, alfalfa, has been used as a healthful tonic in American folk, herbalism, a culinary food in India, and as a digestive support in TCM, traditional Chinese medicine. Organic alfalfa leaf can be infused as alfalfa tea. It can be added to herbal vinegars and incorporated into soups and stews. It is a absolutely fantastic food. Well known as a feed plant for livestock, alfalfa has a rich tradition of other uses in traditional American folk medicine. It has been administered as a nutritive tonic. The dried alfalfa leaf is widely available in herbal shops and health food stores as an herbal tea, tablet, or powder. The seed is often sprouted and eaten in salads and other dishes. Alfalfa has leguminous flowers, which vary in color from purple to yellow. Trifoliate, clover-like leaves, and a deep taproot. That's where it's getting all that vitamins and minerals. That taproot is going deep. Some sources of alfalfa leaf say that the taproots have been found reaching down as far as 68 feet into the soil. That's a long way down, folks. 68 feet of root. Wow. Anyway, alfalfa is active to Southwest Asia, and wild species occurring in the Caucasus and in mountainous regions of Afghanistan and Iran, and is very widely cultivated throughout the world. Alfalfa was first grown in the United States by early colonists, but it was not widely cultivated across the country until the California Gold Rush. Alfalfa provides a nutrient-dense hay, a nutrient-dense hay, which you feed to animals, and is considered the foremost forage plant for dairy cows. It is fed to chickens and rabbits and is utilized in gardening and large-scale agriculture. It is a nitrogen fixer. Like many legumes, alfalfa not only provides healthy nutrients for humans, but it helps to heal the soil, as well as makes it an effective green manure for providing nutrients to the soil. Alfalfa was used in TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, making its first appearance around 206 BC to 220 AD. From 206 BC to 220 AD, during the Han Dynasty. It was used for digestive system support and to stimulate the appetite. Alfalfa was revered for its soothing and strengthening properties. It became available around the 1850s to the Native Americans, who adopted it into their healing system and referred to it as buffalo grass. They would grind up the seed into flour and put it in gruels and bread, and also ate the young leaves and shoots. In India, alfalfa seeds have been applied topically as a cooling poultice. The leaves are a source of the dietary supplement chlorophyll, and the seeds are used to make a yellow dye. In parts of China and Russia, young alfalfa leaves have been served as a vegetable. The name Medicago sativa. The best sources recently are Afghanistan, Southwest Asia, Iran, and the USA. Other names, Ferrule des Luzerne, Grande Trèfle, a lot of French names. It's called Medicago. It's called phytoestrogen, phytoestrogen, purple medic sanfoin, It's got all kinds of names. The nutrients in alfalfa leaf, it's known for vitamins and minerals with higher amounts of calcium, folate, iron, magnesium, phosphorus, potassium, zinc, vitamins A, B1, B6, B12, C, D, E, K, and all the essential amino acids. All of the essential amino acids are in alfalfa. Therapeutic actions. Oh, it's anti-inflammatory, antifungal, alterative, anodyne, antipyretic, anti-rheumatic, anti-scorbutic, appurative, diuretic, depurative, galactagogue, stomach kick, and a tonic. The herbal uses, oh my goodness, alfalfa has been useful to generate energy and endurance. It has also helped to alkalize and detoxify the body, proven to have a cholesterol lowering effect. So it lowers cholesterol and has been helpful in the treatment of arthritis. It's used as a blood builder, blood purifier, and in the treatment, it has been used as a support for cancer. It helps to bind and eliminate carcinogens from the body. It may reduce tissue damage from radiation therapy. It has been used in treating bleeding disorders. It's used for morning sickness and menopause. And externally, well, they don't use it externally. And other uses, it's been used when there's acidity, allergies, anemia, appetite stimulant, if there's Bell's palsy, bursitis, cholesterol, diabetes, fatigue, gout, hemorrhages, lactation, pituitary gland, and ulcers. Those are the supportive uses of alfalfa.
Yeah, that's amazing.
No known drug interactions.
Yeah, I was just saying that's really amazing with the alfalfa, because I was curious why it was in the super greens, but then it's perfect for the super greens.
It is a perfect super grain, and you want to take about 500 milligrams to 1,000 milligrams of it daily, or 1 to 2 milliliters 2 or 3 times daily of the tincture extract. And caution, not recommended for use by persons taking blood thinning agents. If you're taking rat poison, which is warfarin, or some other blood thinners, you want to be careful, because it'll also help to thin the blood a little bit. That's it. And we've come to the top of the hour, and let's get that closing prayer. And folks, I want to thank you, everyone on YouTube, everyone on Zoom, and all you folks over there on dial pad meetings. Thank you so much for your support and your love. And let's get over to that Ephesians again. Let's get that whole body armor of God back on again, and let's keep it on. Let's sweep in the body armor of God, as it says in Ephesians 6:10-18. In Jesus Christ's name, I pray. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints. In Jesus Christ's name I pray. Praise, worship, and thank you, the Most High God. as we receive your complete, continuous, endless, and limitless blessing for the glory and for the victory of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In Jesus Christ's name, we receive, receive, receive. Thank you, Heavenly Father. So be it. We receive. Amen. And let's get over to the over here. And all right. And let's get over here. We're on our way. Stay with us while we do this. We can do it. I know. And I'm on my way. Stay there. There we go. And all praises to the Most High, brothers and sisters.
Thank you, Grandpa. Appreciate you.
All praises to the Most High. All praises to the Most High. Praise worship, Most High God.
This is Bishop Dr. Truman Boost. Boost, coming to you from Good Shepherd Ministries.